Hi everybody, welcome back to Arma 3, and this will probably be my last update 2.20 performance showcase to show you the improvements in the graphics that have happened since last week's, as of recording this video on the 23rd of June, last week's major update to Arma 3. So this game that's been out for, what, 12 years now? It's never run that brilliantly, even on high-end rigs, especially when there's a lot going on, like a lot of AI or a big map or a big modded map, something like that. Even if you had a really good rig, it was always not that great. However, what the devs have done, amazingly, is they've taken the multi-threading code from the brand new Arma Reforger Enfusion Engine, the engine that Arma 4 is going to be running on in 2027, and they've taken that code and they've put it into Arma 3. Unbelievable, I know. Which now means that Arma 3 runs way smoother than it used to, especially in highly demanding situations like this. This is the Arma 3 cDLC Prairie Fire, and it's the Mike Force multiplayer mode, which I always kind of stuttered a little bit when things got hot for me. Kind of run okay, and you get used to it because the immersion is really high in Arma 3 anyway. But with this update 2.20, what you'll find is that the high FPS, your maximum FPS, probably won't change that much, but the average FPS will go up, and there's a lot less stutter. There's a lot less delays. There's a lot less missed frames than you would get before, especially when there's an awful lot going on the screen. And with Mike Force, there tends to be an awful lot going on because you've got yourself, obviously. You tend to have quite a few enemy AI running around shooting at you, and you've also got lots of friendly players who you're playing with as well, who are shooting at things and generally having a malarkey with. Absolutely fantastic game mode. You tend to just be able to find servers in the evenings now, UK time, so that I guess would be afternoon to evening, USA time. And this particular server is I think it's called a Vietnam story, 1965 to 1972. And what I like about this server is that there's the people who were on their Discord who are the helicopter pilots, so they're the ones who are basically ferrying you from the spawn points to the LZs where you fight it out to capture these areas, and yeah, they're constantly doing that. So it's a simplified version of Mike Force, but because of that, it's a more focused version, and I think a really cool version of Mike Force as well. Highly recommend you check it out. And I know when you're watching these videos, it's kind of difficult to get across the difference in smoothness. If you look in the top left hand side of the screen, you'll see I've got the Steam stats up, giving you kind of the FPS I'm getting. But remember, I'm capturing this on the same PC that I'm playing it on, and I'm capturing this on using NVIDIA's Shadowplay or GeForce Experience, I think it's called. So it's putting a lot of strain to do that, so you're not getting the complete picture. What I would highly recommend is, if you own Arma, fire it up. Dive into some of the training scenarios or some of the even the single player missions, and just see how it feels. Maybe turn up the graphics settings a bit, turn up the view distance as well. If you've previously bought Arma 3 and it didn't run that well, especially things like the cDLC, like Prarie Fire or Spearhead 1944, give it another go. Because one thing I find is that although I can put up with jerky FPSs, and very low FPSs, if things are smooth, that really helps. So even if it's chugging along at, say, 24 frames a second, if it's a smooth 24 frames a second, I can put up with that. The difficult thing is when it's running at, say, 35 or 40 frames a second, and then you have these big dips to like 15. That's really immersion breaking, especially when you're trying to aim your gun and shoot at things like that. So anyway, big thumbs up to the Arma 3 dev team and Deadman for doing this. I know there's only a handful of them left now working on this, but the fact that Bohemia Interactive have put the resources in to enable them to do this, and for the devs to have the commitment and the knowledge and the skill base to do this, and undoubtedly many of their sites will be on Arma 4 in 2027, it's just a big sign, I think, to the fact that moving forward, yes, there will be Arma 4 coming, but I think we're always going to have Arma 3. Because of the sheer amount of content that's been made over the last 10 years with things like Prairie Fire, like Spearhead, like thousands of mods that are out there for free. There's just too much of it to throw away. And with this update, Bohemian Interactive have said, yes, that is true. You know, we're going to have Arma 4, we're going to have Arma Reforger, and we're going to still have Arma 3. Hey, we've still got Arma 2, haven't we? But you know, the Arma platform isn't just going to be the latest game. It's going to be the older games too. Anyway, that's enough from me. What do you think? Put your questions and comments down below, and of course, I'll see you again soon.
Are they families? I can't tell. Not burn loose. Make base here. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this one?